All right, dear students, today we are diving into Act 1, Scene 3 of Women Beware Women by Thomas Middleton. I'm going to explain this drama as a drama teacher would, in simple, clear English, like you're encountering this play for the very first time. We'll go through every part step by step, explore what's happening in the character's mind, and see how the scene moves the story forward. This explanation will be at least of 10 minutes, and I hope you're ready. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section if anything's unclear, and you already have my mail address, so you can email me if you feel that commenting wouldn't be appropriate. All right, let's get started with Act 1, Scene 3, the setting and characters. First, a bit of context. Women Beware Women is a Jacobean tragedy from the 17th century set in Italy. It is a dark story about love, ambition, and power, and how these things can destroy people. In this scene, we focus on three main characters: Leantio, or some people call it Leantio, a middle class merchant, his newly wedded wife, Bianca, and Leantio's mother. We also get a glimpse of Duke of Florence, who play a huge role later. This scene is a turning point. It sets up the conflict between love and duty and hints at the betrayal and tragedy to come back. Let's break it down. So we'll go scene by scene. The first scene begins with Leantio's monologue. The scene opens with Leantio alone on the stage, speaking his thoughts out loud. He's about to leave for work but is torn because he is deeply in love with Bianca. He says, "I feel like I'm exhausted in the moment. I say goodbye just like rich young men look worn out the day after a grand party." So what's happening here? Leantio is a working class guy who's just gotten married. He's head over heels for Bianca, but he has to leave and go to work. He compares leaving her to the letdown after a big celebration. He calls it another kind of hell to be separated from the joy he's tasted with her. He's caught between his love for Bianca and his responsibilities. Then he goes on to say, "It's like going back to work after a holiday. You don't feel like it. In a new marriage, you just want to spend all your day, all your time in bed. But that gets expensive. Time slips away, and so does money." So, what's happening here? Leantio is half joking, half serious. He's saying the passion of a new marriage is so intense that it makes him forget about work. But he knows that this passion could cost him, both emotionally and financially. He's worried that love is making him lose focus. Next, we see that Bianca appears and Leantio's weakness shows. Now, Bianca and Leantio's mother enter. Leantio sees Bianca standing at the window, probably watching him leave, and he says, "Look, look, look. She's standing at the window on purpose to watch me. I don't have the strength to leave anymore. Even if someone tried to hang me, I couldn't go now." So, what's happening? Leantio is overwhelmed by his feelings. Seeing Bianca's face makes him so weak that he says, "I could give up everything just to keep looking at her." This shows how powerful love can be. It's making him forget his duties. But it's also dangerous because he knows he can't afford to stay. He questions himself, why should I waste my youth slaving away? We've barely been married a few years and I'm already worn out. I just want to be with her all the time. Is this a joke? Oh God, what kind of a holy bond I've gotten myself into? So, what's happening here? Leantio is mocking the idea of marriage as a holy institution. People call it sacred, but for him, it feels like a trap. He's so consumed by love that it's like he's lost control of his life. Then we are seeing Leantio's inner conflict. Leantio tries to pull himself together. He says, "Just get out of here. When a man loves the most, that's the time he needs to prove himself. But here I am acting like a fool in love. This isn't love, this is stupidity." So, what's happening? Leantio is wrestling with himself. Part of him wants to stay with Bianca, but another part knows he has to work. He says rich men can afford to romance their wives because their pockets are full, but he's poor. He can't afford to slack off. He continues, it's time to be sensible. Poor people like us have to get up early and work, or the whole day goes to waste. So Liancio is grounding himself in reality. He knows that staying lost in love will ruin his business. This highlights his class struggle. He can't afford the luxury of leisure like the wealthy. Next, we are seeing Bianca and Liancio's farewell. Now, Bianca comes down and talks to Liancio. She says, when the day moves on, I'll do my share of work and I'll do it happily. So Bianca is playing the role of a perfect wife, reassuring Liancio that she'll take care of the house, but then she adds a bit playfully, you still haven't left? I was hoping you'd stay. Liancio responds, I have to go now. Goodbye. But Bianca tries to stop him. Oh no, just please stay one more day. We'll sort everything out tomorrow. Liancio gets serious at this moment and he says, when love goes too far, you have to rein it in for a while. Otherwise, it turns into a ruin. It's like a rebellion in a kingdom. Love can be like that if you don't control it. So, what's happening here? Liancio is saying something profound. He believes love is beautiful, but if it's not controlled, it can destroy everything. He's scared that his love for Bianca could lead to his downfall. Next, we see Liancio's mother steps in. So, after Liancio leaves, his mother talks to Bianca. She scolds her. Honestly, daughter, you are to blame. You're leading your husband down the path that'll make him a bad man. This kind of weakness spreads like a disease in young man's blood. So, what's happening? The mother thinks Bianca's emotional behavior is making Liancio weak. She believes young men can easily fall into these traps. She even mocks Bianca's tears, saying they're just for show and that she should be more sensible. Next, we see the grand procession in Florence. Now, the scene shifts dramatically. A huge procession is happening in the street of Florence. The Duke and the street's elite are heading to St. Mark's Church. The crowd is buzzing, and Bianca gets curious. She asks, what's all this commotion about? The mother explains that it's an annual tradition where the Duke and his court celebrate. Bianca asks about the Duke's age, and the mother says he's about 55. Bianca remarks, that's not old. For a man, that's the best time, full of wisdom and understanding. So, what's happening here? Bianca is starting to get intrigued by the Duke. Until now, she's only known Liancio's a simple world, but now she's catching a glimpse of power and grandeur. This is the first time, this is the first sign of her ambition steering. The procession arrives with knights, cardinals, and the Duke himself. Bianca is awestruck. She says, did the Duke see us? I feel like he looked at me. The mother replies, everyone thinks the Duke looked at them. Now, friends, this is a critical moment. Bianca feels like the Duke noticed her and it sparks something in her, a desire for attention or status. The mother's response suggests that Bianca might just be imagining it. But this moment plants a seed that will grow into the tragedy later on. And here we end Act 1, Scene 3. But a couple of things I'd like to discuss. Number one, why this scene matters. So, this scene lays the foundation for the entire play. We noticed four things here. One is Leancio's struggle. He's torn between love and duty. He loves Bianca deeply, but is afraid that this love will ruin him. Second is Bianca's curiosity. Bianca starts as a devoted wife, but the Duke's procession opens her eyes to a world of power and prestige. This is the beginning of her attraction to something bigger. Then we see the mother's warning. The mother tries to caution Bianca. but she doesn't fully grasp how Bianca's mind is shifting. And finally, we see the Duke as a symbol. The Duke only appears briefly, but he represents power and wealth. Bianca's interest in him sets the stage for the play's tragic events. If we talk about the themes and lessons, there are several big ideas here. The scene touches on several things. Number one is love versus duty. As we discussed earlier, Leantio's struggle shows how love can be both beautiful and dangerous. Second theme is the spark of ambition. Bianca's attraction to the Duke hints at how human desires can lead to bad choices. Third one is class divide. Leantio's middle class life contrasts with the Duke's wealth, highlighting society's inequalities. Having said that, I have a few questions for you and try to attempt it. Try to answer it to the best of your ability. First one is, if you were Leantio, would you have left for work or stayed with Bianca for one more day? And why? Second question is, was Bianca's interest in Duke just a fleeting thought, or was it something already big? Was something already brewing in her mind? So, again, if I rephrase the question, was Bianca's interest in the Duke just a fleeting thought? Means a thought that was momentary, or was something already brewing in her mind? And third question, which I have for you, is, was the mother right to scold Bianca, or was she being too harsh? So I would love to see the answers in my comment section, in this video's comment section, and I will definitely read and respond as soon as you answer them. And closing comments, wrapping up, this is a scene that sets up love, weakness, and ambition. It shows how powerful emotions can be and how they can lead to destruction if not controlled. In the next act, we will see how Bianca's connection with the Duke develops and what it means for Leantio. Do you have any questions? Do you have any suggestions, clarifications, doubts? I'm here to answer them. And you and I can feel that the play is getting interesting as we go along. I am enjoying myself, and I'm sure you are too. If you have any doubts or questions, please mention them in the comment section. You already have my mail address. You can email me as well if you think it's not appropriate to put a comment, and I would read your mails and I would answer them promptly. Finally, I hope that you take good care of yourself and hope you have a wonderful day ahead.